Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. When we look back into history, one can ask a question. Why is it that such a small minority of people, less than 10%, were able to oppress the majority for over 400 years? Why is it that it seems like our people were just willing participants in their own oppression? Why is it that they didn't fight hard? What made it difficult? What made the struggle not winnable during those days when they were the majority? Even though the land was taken, but they had the advantage of numbers. Why is it that the system, the evil, barbaric, violent system, was able to sustain itself for such a long time? It was because of the laws that were passed, but there's one element that we never factor in, and that is fear. The previous government used fear on the people. Legislations, acts, laws were passed time and again, and these laws on their own were not enough to get the people where they wanted them to be. So they used fear. Steve Bantu Biko says that because white people realized that they were never going to get any respect from black people, so they used fear. Let's make them fear us. And it worked because all these years that the white people were in power, black people were being treated like animals. They were like prey. They were killed, detained, imprisoned, lynched, exiled, brutalized every day of their lives for so many years. So fear became a very important factor for the state, for it to maintain its power. It used that to make sure that black people understood who they are. They understood that they are the master and we are the slaves. They are in power, they're in control. We have to do as they say. And our people were so much affected by the fear that it changed their thinking, it changed their behavior, it changed even the culture of the people, because now it was all about survival. I have to survive. The state used the laws, not only the laws, but it also used people, especially civil servants like the police, the soldiers. It used people at the police station, at the shops, in the hospital, everywhere that black people went. They were always met by black people who were used by the state, the police, to intimidate them, to harass them. So people were living in fear because you would be in your house and they would come in at any time of the night demanding that you produce your passbook, because that was the permission for you to be in the cities, to be in the suburbs, to work at night, to be at certain areas at certain times of the day or at night. Do you have the right to be here? So all the time, whenever you saw a black police officer or even a white police officer, you must always produce a passbook, or else you will go to jail. And these people were given so much power, the police and the soldiers, the farmers, especially the farmers, because they are just trigger happy. Whenever they saw black people, they saw monkeys and then they shot at them. And they would not be arrested for doing so. Even white civilians, they were also used, and Indians as well, and the Chinese, you know, to brutalize, exploit black people as much as they wanted to, and they would not be arrested. So life was very, very difficult because people have to walk around with fear. You were not sure. You walk around with uncertainty. When you are in your house, will they come tonight? When you are walking in the streets, do I have the book? And most of the time, people didn't have the passbooks. So it was very, very difficult for you to maneuver during the day. It was hard for you to sleep at night because you didn't know when they would come into your house. So fear made Black people see themselves as victims. They walked around and carried that with them, knowing that I'm a victim because there's so many laws. I'm not even sure whether I'm breaking the law or not. I'm not even sure what is the newest law that has been passed because they were just dished out and you were expected to know this. But most of the time, you knew about the law when you were arrested. So fear, or the fear factor, helped the state to control the behavior of the people. It gave them so much power that it was easy that few as they were able, to control the majority. It gave them that kind of power. Because of the effects of fear, it became hard for them to even think fighting back. Yes, people did fight back. I mean, from the days of the kings like Makana, Kukuni, Mushweshwe, they fought. People like Steve Bantu Biko, Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe, Mama Winnie Mandela, Tsietsi Mashinini, the list is endless. They did fight, they did speak out. They were not afraid of the state. And it was against the law to speak out or to criticize the state. You would be arrested for doing so, or you would even be killed for doing so. So fear made our people, to live with uncertainty. Fear made our people to accept their situation, their circumstance. And the worst thing about it was that people developed anger, So fear made people not to speak out against the state, and not only against the state, but even, in their private lives. They were not able to share with their brothers, their fathers, their wives, what they're going through. Because you are a man, and here is another man intimidating you, harassing you, embarrassing you in front of your children and your women. So it was difficult to speak about these things because people were afraid to speak, because they knew that you would go to jail for doing so. And the state used even black people against each other, because there were those, who were the agents of the state, who betrayed their own people. And they did that because they were also trying to survive. They were trying to say to them, look, I have accepted my situation. Please stop beating up on me. Stop embarrassing me. I will do whatever it takes. Anything you tell me to do, I will do. Because the pain was just too much. People couldn't just take the embarrassment and the victim mentality. And what also happened was that people started to take out, their frustration and their misery, their anger on their own people, the very same people who looked like them, people who were in the same situation as them. Because everybody was just trying to make it through the jungle. Everybody was just trying to survive, to make it through the day. Those were very, very difficult, very, very hard times for the people. And on top of that, you were expected as a man to carry your manly duties of providing for your family. And it was difficult. The wages were very, very, very low. As a man in our culture, a man is supposed to be respected. You know that in your family, you are the leader, you are the provider and the protector. And yet you find yourself being harassed, being violated by other men. Men couldn't take this. It was just too much. So they spent their low wages on alcohol because they were trying to numb the pain. They were trying to deal with whatever they were going through. But then why aren't we talking about these things? Because the effects of that fear is evident today. We are just getting worse and worse as a people. Poverty levels are high. We have become criminals, murderers, rapists, prostitutes, drunkards, drug addicts. We can't even hold relationships down anymore. Families are breaking down every day. We don't see marriages anymore. It is because we have denied the past. We pretend as if it never happened. We have put everything under the carpet. We have locked the closets and kept the skeletons there. But unfortunately, skeletons have a tendency to come out. We need to address the past and admit that some of the things that happened to us, it was our own doing. We allowed ourselves to be in that situation. We are grateful to those people who stood up, those who gave up their lives for us, those who were banished from their own countries for the liberation of this country. But yet we are not seeing the effects of their struggle. Let us deal with the fear. Let us address these things. Let us talk about us, because talking is also another way of healing. Talking or speaking about things is another form of healing. We need to come together as a people and not be ashamed or embarrassed, but instead deal with these negative emotions. We are always attracting everything that is negative to us because our thinking is not right. We are not thinking straight as a people. We need to go back to our original selves. We need to bring back our culture, the culture of Ubuntu. Motho ke motho ka batho ba bang. I am because you are. This is what makes us great as a people. We lost that along the way, and it is time that we bring back that wonderful principle that made us a great people. Remember, you are great and you have a right to be here. You have so much that you need to offer. We are all depending on you to make our lives better. Each and every one of us have a role to play in our liberation. We need to come together as a people and sit and define what liberation or freedom is for us. And it's all possible if we all come together as a people, work together, unite, and organize ourselves. Thanks for watching. I will catch you in the next video.